travelling in my van from Yass to Sydney. Why would a place be called Yass? Hi, I'm Addvansure Girl, and in my channel I go to the coolest places and meet the craziest people. In this episode, we're going to go to Sydney, one of the coolest places on earth, and we're going to meet a pretty crazy person, a friend of mine called Chris. And by crazy, I mean crazy in the nicest possible way. He's memorable, funny, and talented in some odd ways, as you're going to see. Okay, so this night at Yass, and I've travelled here up from Gundagai, which you might have seen in the last episode. This is a tiny town about 280 kilometres southwest of Sydney. I've decided to stay in a cabin here because it's too cold to sleep in my van. But sadly, my dogs aren't allowed in the cabin, so they're going to have to sleep in the van tonight. Meanwhile, here they are outside the door of the cabin while I cook dinner, looking not too happy about not being allowed inside. And friends, it's day 4. I slept the night at the Yass Caravan Park. Yay! Me and a spider, which you'll hear about shortly. And the dogs are in the van. Very happy to get out this morning, but they were cozy and warm last night. Well, it's not fair, is it, that you have to stay outside and that you have to stay on the lead? Not fair at all, says Noodle. Oh, yes. Well, give Maloney a little lick on the ear. You know she likes that. Oh, yes. Isn't that good? Just what you need in the morning. Not long, guys, and we'll be on the road. So this is what met me this morning when I woke up in my cabin at the Yass Caravan Park. This is the worst thing to me about living in Australia. I wouldn't mind the snakes. Well, I haven't encountered a snake yet, but I do not like these big spiders. So ever since I've got up, I've been keeping a watch on her. I think it's a her. I prefer to think of her as a her. She's brooding over the eggs in her tummy and wondering if she's going to find a mate this spring to impregnate them. Anyway, I don't want her to drop into my bags and come with me in the van on the rest of the trip. So you stay there, dearie. No road trip for you. Good morning again. Still day 4. Just having a coffee at this huge truck stop at Yass. Actually, all there seems to be at Yass is a KFC, a McDonald's, and a massive truck stop. About 20 huge trucks parked here overnight. And inside, the drivers not only have a lounge and toilets, but they have showers too. All a truckie could need. And they could buy a hat. I bought this hat in there. Not sure if they were for the truckies. They did have oversized underpants, which were probably more in their line. Anyway, I'm on the road when I finish my coffee, going to Sydney. See you in Sydney, if not before.
Maloney and Noodle. Yes, what do you think? Oh dear. It's a hungry horse. Very hungry horse, aren't you? Yes.
And here I am, still in Sydney. It doesn't really count as a day because I'm not travelling. It's another day here in Sydney to catch up with friends, have fun. Yesterday morning, went kayaking on Sydney Hobart, which I used to do every weekend when I lived here for 7 years, and it was still as good as ever.
Okay, Chris is just getting the paddles. You can see the sunshine. It's sunny, Kirribilli. 8 o'clock in the morning and we're off for a paddle just like old times with my kayaking mate Chris.
Take your spoon.
Okay, thank you. Back at our birthing spot, and guess what? We've even got live music. How cool is this? This has got to be Sydney. This is so cool. Oh, and Chris is doing all the work on his own, but he can do it. Go, Chris. Go on, heave ho. Yay! And look, here's some more really friendly people. Come to his rescue. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Where are you guys from?
Oh, you're working in there? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, thanks, buddy.
Sydney is a magnificent city. It's breathtaking. From the very first time I flew over it, the clouds parted and I saw Sydney Harbour Bridge. My God, that was so many decades ago. It took my breath away, and it still does today.
See, sometimes when I going to the fridge to get the apple, it fly inside instead of my head. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've just had a visit from our lovely friend Sony, and I'd like you to all watch the Sony rocket program, teabag rocket program. Now, first of all, we need a tea bag. Now, of course, Sony is not going to go big time on this, not like the Chinese and the Russians and the Americans. She's not going to have any sponsor at all, so we don't need a sponsor. Because she's got no sponsor, there's no strings attached, obviously. Now, Sony knows the deal with the rocket program. She knows that she's been training for quite some time. Since it's a low budget program, she's has to reduce the weight in the rocket. So she's been on a staple diet. And this rocket program, of course, it can't have much baggage. She can't take as much as she put in her car for this trip. So anyway, we have to reduce the payload. So here we go, we reduce the payload. Tip out all the tea, all the excess, and all we're left with is the rocket. In Kirribilli, on this very night, we're going to show you what the rocket can do. If it can stand up, if there's a breeze, it might be hard to stand up. Here we go. Now I need your help on this. I want you to help count down the rocket for the rocket program. If I can get this match lit.
Litton?
I think that's a litany of lies. Litany of lies.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Right.
Now count with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
streets of, first was Kirribilli, now I'm in Neutral Bay. Very, very busy Neutral Bay, and we're just going to turn into the famous or infamous Military Road, which is the major road to the northern beaches. So very, very busy 4-lane road right through the middle of the Neutral Bay shopping area. So if you happen to be a shopper on foot in Neutral Bay, you have to wait a very long time at the pedestrian crossing for the lights to turn green, because sadly, look, we've even got the trucks, buses in the middle. Sadly, Neutral Bay is very much car friendly rather than pedestrian friendly. Well, this is the dogs at a DY, beautiful outdoor restaurant, and look at my babies. How well behaved are those? Hello, sweetie. Yes. Hello, darling. Aren't you the best dogs in the world? So well behaved. Sweet. Sweetie, sweetie.
It's my last night in Sydney. This is the view as we walk back to Chris's place. You could never take this sight for granted. This is a beautiful city. But tomorrow, new sights, new places as I travel on in my van. I hope you'll click like, give me a thumbs up, maybe even subscribe, and come with me on the next Addvansure.